Story 1. Am I the asshole for saying I'll be driving myself and paying for my own room on the upcoming family vacation so I won't have to be a babysitter? I was repeatedly stuck playing the part of helper and babysitter on family outings. I had to move out of my parents' house because I kept being forced to help watch my 3 nephews. Last year, we took a family vacation in summer to the coast. I rode along with my parents, and they paid for my hotel room. Only I had to share that room with 3 rowdy boys because my sister and her husband wanted a room for themselves. I was promised time to do my own things on the vacation, but instead I ended up having to help with these kids. I complained to everyone about it and was reminded I was there for free, and then we pretty much just did only one thing I wanted to do, which was to tour an art gallery. I like doing this whenever I'm at the coast, but the kids find it boring. This year, my parents have a beach trip planned for June, and they assumed I'd be riding along the same way as last year. But I refused. I said I'd be driving myself and paying for my own hotel, stay to have my own room. My parents were shocked and tried to remind me of the cost. I said, it was no worry, I've got a good job and a decent running car. I can more than afford it. That's when the buts started. I stated the previously listed things as why I'll be driving myself and paying for myself. I want to be able to enjoy this vacation as an adult and not be treated like a child. Like last year, my parents told my sister and she called to blow up at me that I'll be ruining the vacation if I'm off doing my own thing. While she has to wrangle her 3 boys, I ended up yelling at her that last year all she did was rope me into her mess. I didn't really get to do much of anything I wanted to do, and I was treated like the bad guy for wanting to just go to an art gallery. I'm a grown man. I deserve my own vacation too. Now, my sister's not speaking to me, and my parents are still trying to convince me to just ride with them to keep the peace. I'm still refusing, but the pressure is getting to me. Am I the asshole for not giving in? I know they'll have a pretty hard time when they won't have another person there to help edit. It's barely been an hour since I posted, but my sister is apparently a Reddit lurker in the mornings, and she saw my post. Not only is she furious with me, but she's also upset no one in the comments is siding with her. To make it short, she went on a big rant about how it's so hard to be a parent to triplets, and the least I could do is help because I'm young and single, and she needs a break. I stood my ground on my decision, and now she's calling our parents to get them involved. I'm expecting a call from them any minute. Update. Well, I'm off work now, so I can tell more of what went down. I guess you could say it's over. My sister got our parents involved. They looked at my post and were absolutely horrified by the continuous influx of commenters. Yes, they're very angry with me that I posted here. But I told them that if they'd just listened to me to begin with, I'd have never needed to. I'm sick of the whole keep the peace mentality that sacrifices me to placate my sister. They, in turn, went off on my sister. And to make a long story short, the whole vacation has been canceled. The hotel wasn't booked yet anyway. But my parents are arguing with my sister. My sister is blaming me, and my nephews are crying because they aren't going to the beach. My sister called me at lunch and basically implied I have no life, which is why I have time to help. I recorded that and told our parents, and that's currently what they're fighting about. Small update. I wasn't going to update again, but here's a little more. Parents said that they won't ever push babysitting of my nephews on me again and have agreed that what happened last year was unfair to me. Right now, they're very angry with my sister for telling me I should help her because she thinks I have no life. My sister is playing the victim, and my brother-in-law is basically saying nope to the whole mess and spending most of his time at work. Thank you to everyone who has commented. You made my day. Story 2. Am I the asshole for telling my stepsister that I'll share my room if she shares her car? My dad has been married to my stepmom for 10 years. My stepsister and I are both 16. Even though my dad has been married to her mom for 10 years, my stepsister and I don't really know each other. Her dad works for some big international company, and she lived in Asia from when she was 3 until she was 9. Then in Europe until she was 13, then lived in South America until September. Now, they're in the US until the summer. Then they're going back to Asia. They're staying a few minutes away from my dad and stepmom, and she's been spending weekends with us. Now that she's actually here on weekends, my dad and stepmom put another bed in my room and said, I have to share until they move again. She goes to this $75,000 a year international school by my school and drives a brand new Tesla. I go to public school and take the bus. I told her she should drive me to school because her school is next to mine and the bus sucks. She said no. I told her to be a good sister and help me out, and she said she's not my sister. Since she won't help me out and says she's not my sister, I won't be sharing a room with her. I left her stuff outside the room and took the spare keys, so they couldn't let her in, and I told her I'll share my room when she shares her car. Now, her dad won't let her come here and says her mom has to go to their house to see her. They also might go back to Asia early because apparently the whole point of them staying here for a year was for her to get to know her mom. She visits for a couple weeks a year, but it's different, and that's not going to happen if she doesn't have a room at the house. They're saying they get why I did it, but I need to deal with her until she goes back to Asia. Am I the asshole for telling her I'll share my room when she shares her car? Story 3. Am I the asshole for saying I won't go on another family vacation unless I have my own room? My 23, female boyfriend's 24, male family goes on vacation a couple times a year. Vacation consists of his parents and his brother and Esil, with their 2 kids, 6 and 8. My boyfriend and I have been together for about 5 years and are extremely close to his niece and nephew. I noticed my boyfriend's family started taking my initiative to be close with the kids as expected. We turned into babysitters over the years. While I love being around the kids, I also like a minute to myself, especially since I'm an introvert. We sleep in the living room of the family houses we visit. The families are more conservative in that aspect, and we simply don't have the room either. When the brother's family visits my boyfriend's parents' house, we are moved to the living room while they take his room. There's 4 of them, so I understand sleeping in the main room doesn't make me as uncomfortable now that I know them, but over time, his family has become less and less respectful of our space. We are kept awake until everyone else wants to go to bed and wakes up early too. Oftentimes, the kids sleep in the room with us. When they get up, we are expected to get up and entertain them. Not having my own room doesn't upset me. I get upset about not having personal space or say in my sleep schedule. The sleep setup is for vacations as well. My boyfriend's mom books and pays for the vacations, even though we all offer to help pay. Because of this, I've never felt like I have a say in where I sleep. So, on vacations, I don't have space or time to myself and I don't get much sleep. I always become tired, irritable, and annoyed. I love being around his family, but I hate being so overwhelmed. I've expressed all of this to my boyfriend, but he primarily asks me to deal with it as best as I can. He hates confrontation of any kind. For my mental health, though, I've said we need our own room, and I won't go on another vacation without one. I need time to recoup every day. Last time, his mother booked what she said was 3 bedrooms, and we helped pay, but it was a 2-bedroom, and his parents took the living room. I felt guilty because they're older and pay for the majority of the trip. His brother's family was confused as to why we got the other room as well, but having my own space helped tremendously. I wasn't exhausted and enjoyed the whole trip. The only time we spent in the room was at night. Another vacation is coming up soon, and it's another 2 bedrooms. 3 bedrooms is usually too expensive, so most vacations will be 2. This is where I feel like I'm the asshole, because someone will have to take the living room. His mom has said we can have the other room, but I feel guilty. I also know I need space for myself, though, so I'm probably taking the room anyway, despite feeling guilty about it. Am I the asshole for requesting to have a room to ourselves on family vacation?